This is QiQ, the question in question. Brought to you by TherapyBites Art Lab. Here to take a bite out of modern-day pseudo-psychological psycho-malarkey. Now entering the Art Lab studio, today's T-Ballers, a collection of fellow strugglers, confronting personal challenges, navigating precarious relationships, and tackling trauma. Humans like each of us, juggling difficult human emotions, each here with unique life experiences, lived stories, and questions we'll bite into that just might help you too. And now, entering the Art Lab studio for the 9,880th time is the host of TherapyBites QiQ, Doc Heath.
Hey, TherapyBites Art Labbers, thank you for joining us in the Art Lab Library. We are in a different spot today because my team said they thought this was more picturesque than the Art Lab studio, which is not, I don't know, maybe 30 yards south of here. But we thought we would do this today, and we'll probably be doing this every Tuesday and Thursday from the Art Lab Library. Let's get right to it. And you know the rules of the game. You can text your psychological QIQs, that is the question in question, to me, Doc Heath, at 1-870-686-4196. You can actually also, and I'm going to adjust my mic here, you can actually also put it up in one of our social media feeds like Doc Heath on Instagram, or TikTok, or Facebook, or Twitter. Twitter is at therapy_bites. And you send us the questions, and we provide the answers live online, and the audience gets to guess the question you ask, and the folks that form it right in the form of a question and come up with the right question can earn some Psycoins to get free stuff, free merch. You can go ahead right now, tick, 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 and invite your friends. Wouldn't that be cool? Some Winner Circle secrets is we also draw questions and answers from our library of podcasts, and a lot of that, most of that is on our YouTube channel. Let's go to the board. And today we have, of course, as always, our categories: Couch Crumbs questions, Creature feature, Social Media Smackdown. We do some social media debates just for fun. Fresh from the Therapy Couch. Couch Crumbs, which is our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, just send us your email to 1-870-686-4196. The last one is Nero, and that is also called in our podcast Psych Secrets. And the first question today is from, it's right here. Couch Crumbs questions. And the answer is, this little critter loves to believe that things are not going to turn out well. They're going to turn out terribly, and they know what the future holds. And I just noticed I don't have my chat box up here, so I can't see a word you guys are saying. And if you watch the replay, which we hope a lot of you do, you can go ahead and give us your comments in the comment section there, and we'll be glad to read those. If there's things that we can do better, go ahead and read those too. And if you can hear me, I know we've had some audio problems in the past. Hopefully we have that fixed. And if you can hear me, go ahead and give me a thumbs up there in the comment section there. I'm going to type in, how is sound this evening? And that's from me, Doc Heath. And you guys can tell me if the sound sounds okay. Some of my team is usually in the background there kind of giving me hints. But once again, the answer is that this little critter, we have a whole zoo of critters, Hey, sounds good. We have good sound. Sound sounds good. Thank you very much. This little critter loves to believe that they know what's going to happen in the future, and it is going to be awful. And we have another thumbs up here. Whoops. What's going on? Okay, there we go. Thank you. You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this. Thank you. I do my best. I appreciate the support. And we're running out of time, so we will go ahead. And the question is, and it's a little bit tricky because what I said in the answer, this little critter loves to believe that they know what is going to happen in the future, indicating what? Fortune telling. The fortune telling gnat. Oh, and we got it just right as I answered it there. I think that I don't think it got in under the wire, but that is a good guess. And also the catastrophizing it. You know, the thing about distorted thoughts, and we have a whole zoo of distorted thoughts. Hey, William says a gnat. It is a gnat. It's a negative automatic thought, but this one is actually a specific one. What is the fortune-telling gnat and the catastrophizing gnat? Fortune-telling is just thinking that you know what's going to happen in the future, but then you add that catastrophizing gnat in there, that distorted duo, and you have both fortune-telling and catastrophizing. And we're going to go back to the board. This particular answer comes from, here you go, SMS. It is for 400 PsyCoins. What is the cognitive distortion, this is the cognitive distortion on which a kooky Kool-Aid pseudo-psychological belief that you have the psychic power to determine if someone is just leading you on. And you can know this even without having a discussion on the subject. And by the way, we pull a lot of these from social media because there's so many folks on social media that are out there giving advice. And, you know, that would be about like Doc Heath giving advice on repairing your diesel engine. I am not a diesel mechanic. You don't want me working on your diesel engine, and I would not attempt that. I'm a neuromechanic, and I can tell you most of the what goes on in your brain and how that works and why it works that way, you know, why we dream the way we do, why we think the way we do, how we can fix that, how we can use our thinking to improve our relationships. Not diesel engines, though. But a lot of folks are on social media giving advice, and they really just give unwise advice. They give sabotaging advice. And this is one of those new terms. This is a cognitive distortion on which a kooky Kool-Aid pseudo-psychological belief that you have the psychic power to determine if someone is just leading you on, and that you can know that they're leading you on even without having a discussion on the topic. And we'll see if we get any correct questions in under the wire this time. And there can be two correct questions here. You can go ahead and see if you can nail the particular cognitive distortion, or you can nail that pseudo-psychological psychomalarkey term from social media. And we don't have any responses just yet. I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans on the social media term. Oh, somebody says here, what is mind reading? Oh my goodness, look at that. That's part of it. That is one half of the answer is mind reading. And since it's not going to be a good thing, there's some other critter kind of creeping around there. Somebody says, what is toxicity? You know, this was not on my QiQ game sheet for this evening. And I'm going to write an article, a blog post about toxicity. I've been thinking a lot about this. But it really kind of dawns on me what Marcus Aurelius says, that no one gets out of bed in the morning planning evil. And no one gets out of bed in the morning with a goal to be difficult, hard to get along with, maybe cranky or whatever. And although it is kind of not okay, well, it's more than kind of not okay. It's not okay, period, to label folks based on race or gender, ethnicity, religious preference, that kind of thing. We shouldn't be calling people names. It seems okay to call other humans toxic. And I think that's a problem because that person that you label a toxic boss is someone's wife or husband or child or mother or father. And they didn't get up that morning to try to be toxic. Let's be kind to others. Let's stop the name calling and view them as humans that are having a struggle. And our time's up for this other answer here. The answer again was the cognitive distortion on which a QiQ laid pseudo-psychological belief that you have the psychic power to determine if someone is just leading you on. And you can know this even without having a discussion. We got half the answer was mind reading, and that's true. But catastrophizing, your mind reading that they're going to do something that is just bad. It's just bad, bad, bad. And that is the mistake. That is the mistake. And the social media term is breadcrumbing, that there are people that they're just pinching off chunks of bread, just leading you on purpose. And that's mind reading, it's catastrophizing, and that is a cognitive distortion. If you think someone is doing that, here's a tip from Doc Heath. Sit down, use this format. When you blank, and you can fill in the blank, when you tell me this, that, the other, and then I see you do this, which is inconsistent with your claim, I get to thinking you're just leading me on. I get to thinking that you don't really care about me. I get to thinking that maybe you're playing around having fun with this, and I'm just kind of, I don't know, a toy in your life. Have a discussion. And I feel this way. When I see blank, I get to think, or from your perspective, when I see a blank, I get to thinking this, and then I have this emotion. I see, I think, I feel. See, that's the algorithm in the brain. Let's go back to the board and move on to our next category. Our next category is Fresh from the Therapy Couch, and it is for 800 Psy Coins. And the answer is, this is the gift you give yourself in order to learn to be in the moment, finding value in the present. And we have a minute on the board to come up with that. And there are lots of gifts that we can give ourselves. We talk about one gift being the gift of forgiveness. Forgiving someone is a gift you give yourself. The gift of gratefulness, finding things to be grateful for, is a gift to yourself. Also, how about the gift of courtesy to other people? You can never lose when you're being courteous to other people. I know. Some people on social media call that people pleasing. Ignore, delete that pseudo-psychological, psychomalarkey, social media nonsense. There's nothing wrong with being nice to people and being courteous to people. And think of courtesy as something that a gift that you give not only to another person, but to yourself. Once again, for 800 Psy Coins, the answer is the gift you give yourself in order to, now listen closely, in order to learn to be in the moment, finding value in the present. And we don't have any correct questions just yet, but the question was, what is mindfulness? I actually have patients come to me and they say that mindfulness makes things worse, and that's because they're really making mindfulness much too mystical. Mindfulness is one of the simplest things that your mind can do, because it's not about stopping something, it's not about starting something, it's just there to be present. And I do mindfulness right here, and we have somebody, and I'm sorry if I'm not getting these quickly, but yes, what is what is being mindful, what is mindfulness. Let's go back to the board and see if we can get another couple of questions or answers in for the evening. And this comes from the Couch Crumbs newsletter. It is for 200 Psycoins. And, we've asked this before. Couch Crumbs newsletter. This undercover LARPer is one of our writers for the Couch Crumbs newsletter. See if you can guess which T-ball team member that is. Even I got that wrong last time. I thought it was one of the team members, and they said, "Oh, no, that's not the team member. The team member is this other." And one of the best things that you can do that actually reduces anxiety, helps with stress. Thinking about stress in catastrophic ways is what creates anxiety. It's not stress that creates anxiety. Stress is here. How I choose to think about it is here. And anxiety results from how I decide to think of it here, or whatever emotion. But LARPing, which I don't think I've ever done that. Actually, maybe I did do that. I did a live action role play as a minstrel at the Madrigal dinner at Lyon College in Batesville, Arkansas, which is called the Harvard of the South. I spent some of the best years of my life there. I was there for 6 years, getting 4 degrees, by the way. And I'm sure they were grateful for the income. I certainly gave them a lot of it. But it is a great college, a wonderful college. But I LARPed as a minstrel, going around tables and singing at the Madrigal dinner that Dr. William Braun hosted, and our great chef Mark would bring out the boar's head, and he would sing the boar's head song that I won't butcher this evening. Maybe I'll do that closer to the holidays when Christmas comes around. But this undercover LARPer is a contributing editor to and writer to the Couch Crumbs newsletter. And we don't have any responses just yet. The question is, who is Bookworm Sarah, also known as Safari Sarah, in one of our drops? Let's go back to the board.
You are a fellow human struggling with difficult emotions, a fracturing relationship, parenting problem, mental health difficulty, have a psychotherapy from hell story to tell, or a challenging life experience question, and would like to share your story by stepping up to bat as a T-baller. Either register by texting QiQ to 1-870-686-4196 and join our Therapy Bites community, or send a postcard with your name, address, phone number, email address, and age to the address on the screen. Therapy Bites, QiQ, P.O. Box 1391, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72403, 1391. If you plan on being in the local area of your podcast player app and would like complimentary tickets to the Therapy Bites QiQ Art Lab studio audience, please search Therapy Bites on your device and just smash that subscribe button. Your complimentary ticket grants you access to alerts so you'll never miss a show.
Okay, and we are back. And I'm sorry if you didn't hear me for that last one, because I actually hit the mute button. Look at this. We actually have a mute button on our mic right there, and I punched it. Change, Joe, you can't hear me cough. I try to hit mute before I cough and sneeze and do all those things. Thank you guys for bearing with me. All right. This last question for the evening is from Psych Secrets, otherwise known as Neuro. And the answer is, these two concepts are often mistakenly used interchangeably to describe an emotional state, but one phenomena is external and the other is internal. And our board is going there. I might have gave it away earlier talking about some things, but that is for 400 Psycoins, and we look forward to your responses here. Yes, we have sound now. The last question was, who was it? Safari Sarah. Also working, a working answer would be, who is Bookworm Sarah? Safari Sarah sounds so much cooler, don't you think? Sarah does a great job introducing you T-ballers to the different critters in the Art Lab Zoo. And she plays Sir David Attenborough, which is where we kind of get the idea for that drop. For next time, invite some folks. We have the question coming right up. I've given you the answer, and you can form your response in the form of a question, and then we will be out until, tomorrow we're dropping a new episode. Catch our new episode of the TherapyBites Art Lab podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And the question is, what are stress or stressors and anxiety? Stress happens out in the world. How we interpret it can create anxiety. If you want to create less anxiety, then reinterpret the stressors. Stressors, you can think about that as your oars in the waters of life. You know, I'm rowing the boat here, right? Row, row, row your boat. You can think of stressors as your oars in the waters of life. Go out there, it's getting to be spring and summertime. Dive right into those waters of life. Interpret them accurately and realistically with your thinking, and you'll be rowing through the waves of life like a pro. Come back for the next QiQ. That'll be 2 days from now on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central.
Premier accommodations for our T-Ball contributors provided electronically by the luxurious Art Lab Studio, overlooking the steaming cesspool of pseudo-psychological social media psychomalarkey and located in cyberspace on your favorite podcast hosting platform, where we invite you to the most psychomalogically thrilling podcast in town, while you feast on our award-winning Psychologically-Nutritious buffet of TherapyBites cuisine, conscientiously cooked up by your hard-working T-Ball team chefs. Next time on TherapyBites Art Lab QiQ, Doc Keith and T-Ball callers face off against steaming piles of pseudo-psychological psychomalarkey directly from your favorite social media.